You've probably heard that Wichita voters will be asked in November to vote on a proposed sales tax. The proposal is for 1 cent per dollar to be used for a new water supply, improving the bus transit system, for street repair, and also for jobs and economic development. And one of the criticisms of any sales tax is that it is regressive. That is, it affects low-income families in the greatest proportion. And this is an important consideration to explore as Wichita voters decide whether to create a new city sales tax of 1 cent per dollar. If enacted, the sales tax in Wichita would rise from 7.15% to 8.15%. Now, this is an important issue because to hear some people talk, it seems as though they are saying the proposed tax is 1 penny. Anyone can afford that, they say. But it's important to remember the tax is an extra penny on each dollar spent, meaning that the cost of, say, $50 of food at the grocery store increases by 50 cents, not by just 1 penny. And we also hear the sales tax spoken as being a 1% increase. And that's true if we mean a 1% increase in the cost of most things we buy. And 1%, after all, is just 1%. Not a big deal, people say. But considering the sales tax we pay, here is a relevant calculation. If we're currently paying 7.15 cents tax per dollar as we do, and we add 1 cent per dollar to that, the amount of sales tax we pay rises by 14%. So maybe we should be asking this question of Wichita voters in November. Do you want to increase the sales tax you pay by 14%? Well, to explore the effect of the proposed sales tax on families of different incomes, I gathered data from the United States Census Bureau, specifically Table 1101, which holds data from the Consumer Expenditure Survey for 2012. Now, I realize there's a lot of data in this table that you may be seeing right now, so remember, it's available to view and download at wichitaliberty.org. But this table divides families into 5 quintiles of income. It gives annual expenditures for each quintile in categories like food, housing, and transportation, and others. And for each category, I judged whether it is subject to sales tax. For example, for housing, I judged it is not subject to sales tax. And that's not entirely accurate, as some of the spending in that category, it might be for taxable items like maintenance and repair supplies. Another approximation is that food is subject to sales tax in Kansas, although low-income families may apply for a rebate of the tax. But despite these shortcomings, I feel this data gives us an approximation of the effect of the sales tax. And as you might imagine, as income rises, so does total taxable expenditures. What I found interesting is that the percent of expenditures that are taxable is relatively constant across income levels. But an important finding is the very bottom line of the table, which shows the increase in costs due to the proposed sales tax as a percent of income after taxes. This calculates the relative impact of the proposed sales increase. And it is here that we expect to see the regressive nature of a sales tax appear. Now, for all consumers, the increase in cost is 0.35% of income. But for the lowest class of income families, the increase in cost is 0.97% of income. That falls steadily to 0.26% for the highest income class families. Now, this means that the lowest income class of families experience an increase nearly 4 times the magnitude as do the highest income families as a percentage of after-tax income. This is the regressive nature of sales taxes illustrated in numbers, and it is something that Wichita policymakers and voters should consider. Well, I think Wichita policymakers have already considered this, if they were aware of it to begin with, and they believe that the sales tax is the best way to go. So, it's up to you voters to become informed on issues like this.